It's Walk the Plank. It's the Dead and Buried Treasures pre-show, and we've got a new movie for you tonight that we're going to talk about. My name is Nicholas Callis, and Eric Sprouse, the creator, is... Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. I did not see you there. I was really into my book, The Handbook for the Recently Deceased, which is actually the book they use in Beetlejuice, because I'm really excited. We got a really cool sponsor tonight, Nick.
Is it?
It's Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
I can't say it enough. You don't say his name twice or three times, though. Can't say that, because you'll call him here and it'll be a whole mess. But that's why I wore the shirt, too. You see, I got my Beetlejuice shirt on. You can look at it three times. You just can't say it three times. And I got this shirt specifically for the show tonight, but then I didn't realize I'm driving here today to the studio, and I'm realizing, oh, it's got green in it. So you at home probably can see through me now, because we do the whole show with a green screen background, and this is what it looks like in the studio. See what I mean? Yeah. So you got the whole green screen, this bleeds in, so anything that's green, you know. So let's turn that back on, because it's pretty bright, quite ugly. Huh? So that's why I wanted to wear the show, because we're doing the show tonight with a sponsor like Beetlejuice. So how cool is that, though?
Yeah, so what do we...
I guess I should probably change and get out of this so you don't have to see through me here. Hold on one second. Hold my microphone. There we go. Okay, I'm going to change real quick. But talk about, like, you know, how you hate scary movies and stuff.
Me? Well...
I promise I'll be quick.
I do hate scaring myself, and that's why I always haven't been so privy to scary movies. And this is pretty scary right now. Eric's changing on set. Oh, goodness.
I wanted to use that Beetlejuice shirt, though, because I bought that specifically for the show, you know?
But I have found myself enjoying scary movies more since I've been on this show and just exploring the different varieties and the history of them. And I bet you're tired of hearing me talk about myself. So, Steelers.
Yes, well, you know, the season's starting. You know, it's been a great summer. And I'll just put this somewhere here.
As of right now, we don't know who's going to start. Russell Wilson. Well, we do know who's going to start Russell Wilson, but is Justin Fields any good? I don't know. Anyway, that's enough about sports.
Well, yeah, because by this time, if they're watching this show later, they'll be watching the Steelers and they already know who's playing or who's starting. So anyway, thanks for letting me change. I just wanted to use that Beetlejuice shirt.
Yes. Oh, you said it 3 times.
That's not jinxing, but we might as well call him up tonight in a trailer or two or something. So yeah, I bought the whole shirt for it, and I realized the green I couldn't use it because of the green screen we used, so I figured there's probably something else we do. But also, and I wanted to show you this too, because this makes it official. You know, we have the Beetlejuice sign from the graveyard when they find him all buried, and he's telling everybody where he's at. He's over here, you know? So I thought that was kind of fun too. So that's we're all excited about Beetlejuice sponsoring the show.
Thank you, Beetlejuice.
But we do have another movie.
Yes.
That we're hosting tonight on the show.
Go ahead. So. Go ahead. Tell us about it.
Well, we're hosting a movie called Sisters of Death, and it's a story directed by Joe Mazzucca. Back in the same year Star Wars came out, 1977, and it's essentially about a college sorority initiation that went wrong.
Oh.
And because it goes wrong, 5 years later, the girls get together who were part of that sorority to reunite for a reunion, and they start dropping like flies.
Oh.
Yeah, there's somebody there that's not too happy about the initiation issue. So that's essentially what it's about. It's called Sisters of Death. It stars, among many of the girls, the bevy of beautiful women on there, Claudia Jennings, who was a former Playboy model until her untimely death way back in the early 1980s from a car crash. But she's in it, as long as some other very beautiful, talented women, and it's a scary one, folks, so tune in.
Did somebody die during the sorority ceremony, or was it just one of those super embarrassing things and somebody wants revenge now?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, good question. It's not like Carrie, where somebody dumps like a bucket of pig's blood on her at the prom and she's all mad and she loses her powers. But you don't know. And I think that's what makes it kind of creepy. You don't know how these people are disappearing or getting killed. It's not a big bloody massacre. You know, the one thing I don't like about some horror films, it's like the bloodier the better. And that's the philosophy. I'd rather have the suspense.
So it's like a mystery here.
Yes, like almost like a mystery. You don't. That's why I like the Scream movies so much. And yeah, they get knifed and whatnot, but it's like more of a mystery on who is the killer, and I like that. Yeah. The cool thing about Michael Myers was he's just pure evil in a costume, and you can't stop him. But you don't know what's going on in this one. You don't know if it's a ghost, somebody out for revenge, somebody that was wronged, maybe the sister of the girl who got killed. You don't know that kind of stuff, and that's what makes it so appealing. It's a mystery you have to figure out along the way.
So it's scary, but it's less about, the murder, and it's more about the whodunit, right? Are you more focused on, being concerned for the characters, or more on who is this that's doing this?
Well, I like the characters because I like Claudia Jennings. I think she's gorgeous.
Wow.
And like we said before, she was a former Playboy model, and there's no ugly people in this movie. Which is another kind of thing that people do in these old 1970s movies. They're all pretty people. They're all pretty people on screen at the same time. So you care about the characters. You want to know what's going on, but it's also you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Now, actually, I have another question. Are they those traditional people that just they make bad decisions because they're not smart? They're the pretty face, not smart, or there's some intelligence in here where I'm not going to be yelling at my television like, don't go there? Or...
Yes and no.
Okay.
And here's why, because I do the same stuff. But like, don't go in the basement. What's wrong with you? But they don't know there's a killer floating around.
Oh, okay.
Necessarily in the beginning, so you make dumb decisions because why wouldn't you go to the basement? I need to go get like a shovel. Okay, well there's one in the basement. Okay, well, if it's a horror movie and there's somebody in the basement, you show there's somebody is killing somebody, somebody's disappearing.
Right.
You don't go off by yourself. But like if you're at home, and there's a killer in your house and you don't know it, you're like, I'm gonna get out in the basement, grab me a cold one, I'll be right back. And you take off. It's like, you don't know any better.
Yeah.
So it's like, so there are some decisions in it that are made by the typical final girl, or whatever. So there are some moments like that. Yeah.
Now, where does this stand graphically? Like from the
Oh, it's not.
Produced in 1972, published in 77.
There's only been one movie we've had on the show that I had to edit some cleavage out.
Oh.
Because I try to make this a family-oriented show, but I think the world has now changed where people are more desensitized about what's going on in the world itself.
So, I didn't mean graphically like that. I meant like effects.
Oh,
like
effects
graphics and effects for the.
Oh, the effects are.
Your head's into Playboy land.
Effects are horrible. Okay. There's one guy that runs into an electrified fence by accident. If I know that fence is electrified, I ain't going nowhere near it.
Okay.
But he does. Yeah. Granted, he's being chased by a dog, but it's like, okay, and and he knows the fence is electrified. But when you have the classic, I'm going down to the basement. Nothing ever happens in a basement.
Right. So there's
nothing good ever happens in a basement after midnight. You know what I mean? So I'm going down to the basement. I'll be right back. And you're saying all the classic things, like what they say in the movie Scream. 3 of the things that they have in a horror movie, you're going to get killed. I'll be right back. Don't go to the basement. So there's not a lot of super fantastic special effects. Remember, this was in a period. It's a period piece that was before the age of animated anything, no CG. They did it all by miniatures or blood effects or costuming or special effects on site. So,
well, let me ask you. For its time, what do you think of it?
Oh, it was okay.
Somebody watching it in 1977.
A lot of horror hosts around the world, and we exist not just here in Pittsburgh, but there's some in Chicago, Miami, LA, New York. Some people will put on horror movies on a movie just because it's really bad. Mm-hmm. There was one called terror creature beneath the sea or something like that. And the guy comes out in this costume. He's like, "Arr!" And he's got like suction cups on his hands for tentacles. He looks really bad. I don't like to do that stuff on my show only because the movie's got to be good. You want them to stick around and watch the movie.
Yeah.
You know, so if it's not a good movie, at least relatively good for its age, it's not going to be on the show. And it's going to be family friendly. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great night of, I think of this movie more as an adventure than I do a slasher film.
So you're not worried about like the aesthetics, what it looks like.
No,
I mean, image. You're worried about who done it, right? That's pretty.
Yeah.
This is a whole who done it. There's nothing that's going to wow you other than the storyline, which is who's killing these people.
Yeah, it's more of a who done it more than oh boy, where's the next blood splatter coming from? The special effects don't have to be super fantastic, and let's face it, it's the early 1970s. They're not. In fact, knowing this movie, I probably could have had some students go in the woods with me, and we could have shot this movie on our own.
Okay.
I mean, it's not bad for its time. I don't want to make people turn the channel either. So, but it was a really good movie from that kind of point. You try to figure out who's done it, who did it, and what's going on here.
Okay.
It's a good mystery.
Let's touch on your personal life a little bit too, because now this is our second episode since your little hiatus there. How's everything going? Everything okay with you?
Oh, with that, yeah. Well,
just give people an update, right? You know, you look great, and I think you look great. You're here, so that's a start. But how are we feeling?
There's a funny thing I say to my friends at home that we always came up with. A guy, it's a long time ago. We go, keep watching, you know. But I had a stroke about 7 months ago. 7 months ago, we brought it up on the last show, and I'm doing better. I'm having a lot of fun now. I've lost some weight. I'm getting into better shape. I'm lifting. I'm jogging. You know, there's a time where you just gotta, when you get older, you gotta just make sure the car is maintained. Right. You know, in order to keep it on the road. So and I found it's actually in a way a good thing that it happened, because if I never would have known, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people. Some people in the world that had a stroke can't drive. They can't use their arm. They can't speak. So I look at me being like a blessing, kind of in a way, what happened, to say, you know, the man upstairs like saying, "Hey, stupid, quit eating so much. You need to get in your life in gear. You're getting older." So I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing very good. I didn't think there was a point in time where I was ever doing horrible with this, but it's a reality check. You know, you just got to keep. It's like I said this on the last show. It's not like the movies where you grab your heart and you fall down. I didn't even know I was having it. So good thing I was having an eye test done that weekend, and I went into Dr. Salvetti's in Washington, Pennsylvania, and the Southwestern Pennsylvania Eye Institute, in fact. And he said, "This is what's going on. You need to get yourself checked out," and everything worked out in the end.
Have you done any other major events, like not just the show, but have you been anywhere, done anything, been any?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that one, because I am going to. One of the social media questions I saw today was, are you going out? How come you don't do local conventions and things like that much? I'm going out now. I'm going to the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival on Pirates Weekend. So if you want to meet me, I'm there. I'm walking around. Ahoy, everyone! I'm giving out like little candies or whatever, you know. And I'm also going to the Bradford House in Washington, home of the Whiskey Rebellion, is holding a 1 or 2 night only meeting with me, where I'm going to read ghostly tales as Captain Drake that happened regarding the Whiskey Rebellion, and a lot of colonial stories about George Washington and ghosts. And it's going to be a fun night where I got a lantern and everybody's gathered around the campfire, and I'm telling kind of scary tales. And I don't have any information on it. It's all in the preliminary stages, but it's going to be something that takes place in mid-October at the Bradford House in Washington, Pennsylvania. And I'll be telling some long, long pirate tales about ghosts and goblins. It'll be a lot of fun. So yes, come out and see us. It'll be a lot of fun. That's the Bradford House in Washington. We're the home of the Whiskey Rebellion.
That's awesome to hear. You think it's time for social media questions?
Yeah, let's get to it. I heard there's a lot of good questions this time around, so I love answering questions from the viewers, because it shows they're watching.
That's right.
So the nice thing about it is I love doing this kind of show. So hit me. What do we got? Ask me a question.
Terry from Wilmington, North Carolina, watching on DBTV. Ahoy, Captain. Love the show.
Ahoy, Terry!
Your last show, Fangs of the Living Dead, was very entertaining, and I love all the intricate battle scenes you spliced together. It was kind of neat to see the swashbuckler's haunt open up its cannons. I noticed some similarities with the TV show Star Trek. Do you watch that show at all, and was it an inspiration for you?
I'm a big Trekkie.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Star Trek fan.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm a big pop culture nut in general, which is why...
I meant pick one. Are you Star Wars, Star Trek? If you had to pick
I have to pick a side of the fence?
Yes. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh. I tell you what, I'm going to plead the fifth on that only because if I say Star Wars, I have some Star Trek people out there mad at me. And if I say Star Trek, I have Star Wars. I say they're equally great.
Okay. Well, was Star Trek an inspiration for you?
Yes, it was. It was a great inspiration. I love... I was reading a book just a couple months ago on the making of Star Trek II.
Oh.
And how Nicholas Meyer, the director of that movie way back in 1982, wanted to make a movie about, he watched some movie, and I don't remember the name of it, about these submarines underneath playing a cat and mouse game with each other. Mm-hmm. And so when he made Star Trek II, that's essentially what it was in space. So I thought it'd be really cool to do some kind of a storyline where I'm playing a cat and mouse game with another ship with an evil villain that we still don't see quite who it is or know anything about him yet. The man in the red hood, we'll call him now, the hooded man. And how it all works out and how I have to deal with making decisions and things like that. And while we're hosting a movie. So there's a lot of stuff in this for everybody. So thank you for your question, Terry. That's a good question. So yes, I am inspired quite a bit by Star Trek too. I love Captain Kirk.
Greg from Charlottesville, Wisconsin, watching on DPTV, says, I saw on social media that Beetlejuice, and he only typed 2 Beetlejuices, so we don't have
well,
to
that's the name of the sequel.
Summon.
Yeah, because
the sequel's Beetlejuice?
Yes, and I'm wondering if the third one will be called the 3 names. Yeah.
Okay. Beetlejuice is sponsoring though tonight. Do you get a chance to sit down and talk with Michael Keaton for an interview at all?
You know, I asked the studio about this, and no.
No.
I really wanted to too. I figured, well, if they're going to sponsor the show, but they don't. We don't have any screen time with Michael. But being a Pittsburgher, I thought, oh, how cool is that? And I really feel that the studio. I don't want to say they dropped the ball, but I mean, like, there's interviews all over the internet, Facebook, Entertainment Tonight. You know, you'll see other interviews with Michael Keaton on there somewhere. But sadly, we don't have the behind-the-scenes look at the show tonight that I was hoping to. But it's still a night of Beetlejuice, and you'll see why when you watch.
All right. Another question here. Stephanie, who lives right here in Pittsburgh, watching on BPTV, the flagship station.
Yes!
We love that. Stephanie. We love that. Ahoy, Captain. We really love the show. My family and I love the idea of the new episode logo that you just started featuring. For those of you that don't know, if it's a new episode, you'll see a flashing graphic.
Yes.
That really just spells it out for you. This is a new episode. So, okay, put that on before your show and on Facebook, so we know that show is coming. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Stephanie says. The question is, now that the battle is here, do we finally get a chance to meet this villain?
Yes. First of all, Stephanie, thanks for the question. Great. I'm glad you pointed out the new episode logo, because we don't get a chance to do a weekly show with this. This turns into like a monthly, almost like maybe every other month kind of show, because it takes a while to put the show together, costuming, effects, and nobody's really paid to do Dead and Buried Treasures. Mm-hmm. So you really can't do. You're not working. You have other jobs and other responsibilities, other obligations. So whenever we do get a new show put out, you'll see a flashing episode. New episode Friday on there, either on the Facebook page, if you see it on there, there's a show coming out this week, it's going to be new, or here at the TV station.
Definitely on BPTV.
On BPTV, you'll see it quite a bit before the show airs. It says, hey, this is a fresh episode. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. The main villain, yes, you do. And we'll leave it at that, because it's kind of scary what happens. But yeah, it's pretty cool what happens with the main villain.
That's tonight. Exciting to hear. To hear. Okay. This one's going to make me sad. Susan Boyer in Shadyside asks, now that PCTV downtown is closing its doors, where else can we watch the show? We occasionally watch it at my grandparents' house near Bethel Park, but our primary viewing is in downtown Pittsburgh. What now?
Yeah, sadly, and we don't get we just discovered this a month or so ago. PCTV, we're losing an affiliate. They're closing their doors downtown Pittsburgh. So I have a lot of viewers asking me questions about where can we watch the show now, because the show's still in production. We're still here on BPTV, which is our flagship station. We're still all over Facebook. We're still on the national network, which is DBTV. Probably the best place you can watch us if you're living in downtown Pittsburgh would be either on our Facebook page, where we still have a new show every Friday night, or DBTV, which is the national network, which we were on at the same time. This is probably a good thing. At the same time as PCTV. So we're on, you could go to DBTV, and if you don't get the channel in your viewing area at that time, you go to stream the entire channel at www.dbtv.tv. Not .com. That's dbtv.tv. It's on at the same time as the PCTV affiliate. And we're having one last episode to close before the show goes off the air there, and PCT, and the whole station closes down at PCTV, and we're doing Night of the Living Dead. Oh. So that was our one down there, our Halloween show that we've aired here before. So yeah, that's the best place to watch us now. It's on DBTV or the Facebook page, I would assume.
I do like to let everybody know as well, since I work in Bethel Park, right? A little bias here for the flagship station.
Absolutely.
bptv.bethelpark.net is where you can go for an entire archive of Dead and Buried Treasures. They're available the night after they air, so you're not going to get them live. But if you want a whole archive, or if you want to watch them the next day and you can't watch them live, they'll always be available on that website. And just a note as well, support your local media. Find your local public radio stations or TV stations. Support, accept, or give donations if they accept them. And if you're interested in TV and they're taking volunteers like they do at BPTV, volunteer, really. I mean, Eric gets to make this show because of community television, and I get to work in community television along with the many other things that I get to do, that I'm blessed to do for a living. So just keep that in mind. I mean, community media, I think, is really undervalued, and if you know of any stations around you where you can help support them, please do.
Yeah, I like that idea too. Local television's important, folks, so I feel like we're on a telethon.
Not quite.
Not quite.
We're not accepting donations on this show in particular, but
right.
If you know of any of your affiliates or anywhere in your area where there's community TV, radio, anything else like that, support for real. Mm-hmm. It's important. Okay, Timothy, who lives in the Pittsburgh area, says, we live so close to Bethel Park, but sadly we don't get BPTV. I can relate to that. I live right in Green Tree, and it's not
I live in Washington.
Yeah, well,
so yeah, I get it.
So close. We have to watch either on DBTV or on Facebook, but we miss watching it on cable television. I love that. Somebody watches cable.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's awesome.
Because we have to watch it on a computer or our phones, are you ever coming to Peters Township? Will there be a Peters Township affiliate?
Actually, guess what? We have an answer on that that's fairly definitive, like a 95% yes. We are coming to Peters Township.
All right.
To the network called, I got to get this right, PTC TV, Peters Township Community Television. We're working on the details now.
I think I have a cousin who went there. They have a lot of students working productions there too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So it's good getting on there.
Yeah, a lot of volunteers. They deal with the same thing that you deal with here. Volunteers, and it's important. But yeah, yes.
Picked you up.
Yeah, we're getting
awesome.
We're going to be going to Peters Township, and it's near Pittsburgh for people watching this like in Arizona or wherever. But yeah. So we are expanding here locally in the regional area in Pittsburgh.
That's great to hear. Yep. Very good. Okay, and last question here from Debbie in Mars, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
is there a reason that we never see you at local conventions or anything like that? We would really like to meet you in person, or Captain Drake in person. I think you touched on that a little bit. You went to the Renaissance Festival, or you're going to have story time coming up, right?
I did, and we've done that already. I want to tell one quick story. I know we're running out of time. One time I went out to the Renaissance Festival to do a personal appearance, or something like that. I ended up winning the costume contest.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, I didn't come here for this, but okay, I'll take your free tickets to the Renaissance Festival. So it's a lot of fun. But no, we do have plans to get to like the Monster Cons, like the Monster Bash or Steel City Con. And it's like right in our backyard. We don't take advantage of it. And we're so busy working on the show, we don't have time. And so we're going to have to make some headway into, separating church and state and make time to get out there and about, because we really are missing doing something like that. So yes, hopefully, and there's no real reason like, I hate those conventions. I actually love the conventions. I'm there every year. Steel City, they're a sponsor on the show. they're a sponsor of Tonight Show. You know, so it's like I love this kind of thing. So yes, there's no real reason we're not. We just don't get a chance to go out there and shoot an episode at the convention.
All right, that's it for social media questions. Final thoughts on the movie tonight.
It's going to be a good one, and not only the movie itself, but there's some interesting things that happen on Captain Calico Drake's part too. There's the cat and mouse game still continues. He's surrounded by ships out there that don't like him very much, and he has to finagle his way out of another trap or two. So it'll be a lot of fun for what's going on here in the studio, a lot of fun by watching the movie. We have Beetlejuice on the show, and Steel City Con is sponsoring the show, so it'll be a great night of fun for just pop culture enthusiasts at the very least, or horror buffs who like a good mystery from time to time.
This has been Walk the Plank. The Dead and Buried Treasures pre-show can be seen a half hour before every Dead and Buried Treasures episode, and a new episode comes up next.
Yes! Enjoy the movie! It'll be a lot of fun, I guarantee you, mateys.
Coming up next, wherever you get Dead and Buried Treasures.
Dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum. Drink and the devil be done for the rest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum.
Every pirate loves Dead and Buried Treasures, but how do you tell if it's a new show or a rerun? Easy. Like Buried Treasure, if you see this logo before the show begins, it's a brand new show. If not, it's a rerun. It's that simple, mateys. Look, new, not. New, not. New, not. Or, if you join a show late after it started, look at our Facebook page for the weekend. If you see the logo there, we be presenting ye with a new show for sure. In fact, it's what you call certified fresh, complete with a tomato kersplat next to it. Isn't that what you kids look for nowadays? Pictures? Don't know what lunatic came up with that one, but a tomato somehow equals fresh, but a splat sometimes equals the movie we're hosting. It's that simple. And now, back to Calico Drake and his group of miscreants.
Arr, it's that time, me hearties. It's time to welcome aboard new crew members to the Dead and Buried Treasures fan club. And by doing so, here is your bounty for this month, if ye can decode this show's secret message. So get ready to pause those DVRs, mateys, and honor the code. Good luck, mateys, and to those of you out there who are not yet members of the crew just yet, what the devil are you waiting for? Contact Phoenix Comics and Toys online and be a part of all the fun. You too can walk away with horrific prizes and booty. And who doesn't like booty?
Captain!
Oh, yeah. Taking part in all the fun and games. Yes. I certainly don't want another meeting with the network about being PC, so yes, best of luck to you, me hearties, and remember to honor the code.
You too can take part in all the fun and win prizes from Dead and Buried Treasures. Just become members of the fan club. By becoming a member of Captain Drake's crew, you receive an autographed 8x10 picture of the Captain and Jack, welcome letter, a crew doubloon keychain, quarterly newsletter published 4 times a year, discounts at conventions, on Redbubble merchandise, and of course the decoder statue of Captain Drake that helps you decode the secret messages that the Captain sends out each show, where you can win prizes exclusive to those who are the first to solve the secret pirate codes. So contact Phoenix Comics and Toys and begin the fun today.
And remember to honor the code.
Yeah!